How do you think of the inevitable ending for every person, known as death? When I was 6 years old, my dear grandfather passed away. At the end of the funeral ceremony, I saw that he had been cremated. Suddenly, a fear of death seized hold of my heart tightly. After the funeral, I was unhappy for several days. I just sat in a small corner of my room and kept silent. I was dead one day, be pushed into a big stove and burned into ashes. I thought bitterly, no one can run away from it. The most terrible part is that I don't know when death will come. It may be after several decades, it may be only several years, or it may be even tomorrow. What's wrong, my dear? My grandma came to ask me. I'm afraid of death, I said. But she laughed. Oh, don't worry, if you are a good person. When you die, you will go to heaven and live with God. Really? Of course, it's a beautiful place. Your grandpa has gone there, and I will be there soon. I believed my grandma's words for several years, but unfortunately, my increasing knowledge finally smashed the dream of heaven. In the real world, where is the heaven? In the spiritual world, we Chinese have been rid of God's control since the 10th century BC. Where is our God? How do we face death? I began to search for my own answer. Then, the mainstream of Chinese Buddhism tends to think that every person is born with Buddha nature. If you do only good and purify your will, you will be the Buddha. The real world that you are living in is the heaven. Therefore, you are able to save yourself. The philosopher who really inspired me a lot is Zhuangzi, the representative of Chinese Taoism. When Zhuangzi's wife died, he jumped on the basin and sang out with joy. His friend accused him of being ruthless. Zhuangzi replied, "The changes in humans' life and death is a sort of transformation of different lives in nature. Just like the procession of the four seasons, from spring to autumn, and from winter to summer. If I feel sad for her death, I should think that I did not understand what was appointed." Zhuangzi's performance art impressed me greatly. How do you know it's bad to be dead? Life may not be happy, while death may not be bitter. I'm no longer afraid of death as when I was a child. Keep a peaceful mood for death, and just follow the change of the nature. Life is like a travel. The destination is not important. The important things are the scenery along the way, and your mood when you are watching the scenery.